Welcome again to the Bahamian Mathematics YouTube channel. Today we will be working out past paper questions. And today's question is BJC Paper 2, 1998, question number 14. This question is a ratio question, and let's see what it says. There are 700 students at Smithside Primary. The number of boys to girls is in the ratio of 3 to 2. And so here's our ratio 3 to 2. And let's write that 3 to 2. Now this ratio is important in that the order matters. And because the question said the number of boys to girls, it said boys first. It means the number 3 relates to the boys, which means that the number 2 relates to the girls. So we have boys to girls 3 to 2. That's important. First question says, how many students are boys? Well, the first thing we need to do is to find the total number of parts in the ratio. We know the ratio is 3 parts boys, 2 parts girls. What is the total number of parts? We just simply add them together. So 3 plus 2 is 5. We have 5 parts altogether. Now, in order to find one part, we have to take the total number of students, 700, and we divide by the total number of parts, which is 5. And so 700 divided by 5 is 140. That's one part. The question asks us how many students are boys. Well, 3 relates to the ratio of boys. And so we found one part. We need to now find 3 parts. And so if one part is 140, 3 parts is simply 140 times 3, which gives us 420. So there are 420 boys out of the 700. There's another way, though, that we could do this instead of dividing and finding one part and then multiplying by the number of parts we need, and that is to create fractions and then cancel. And so we see that we have 5 parts, 3 parts boys and 2 parts girls. And so if we said 3 out of the 5 parts are boys, we could create a fraction 3 over 5. And that means that the girls are 2 out of the 5 parts. And we can see we have fractions now. And so if there are 700 students altogether, and we know 3 over 5 or 3/5 are boys, we can take the 3 over 5 and multiply by 700 over 1. And now this is multiplying 2 fractions. And so what we need to do now is to cancel. We can say 5 into 5 goes once. 5 into 700, let's take it one digit at a time. 5 into 7 goes once. And there are 2 left over, which go with a 0 to make 20. 5 into 20 goes 4 times. And 5 into 0 is 0. And so we have 3 times 140, which is equal to 420, which is the answer that we got before. And now let's move on to part B. What fraction of the students are girls? So let's think about that. We have 700 students. We found out that 420 of them were boys. And so if we subtracted 420 from 700, that would give us the girls. And so 700 take away 420 is 280. That is the number of girls, but that's not the fraction of girls. And how do we find the fraction of girls? Well, we can put the 280 over 700 and start to reduce. And so we get rid of the zeros. That's easy. And we're left with 28 over 70. And now what can go into 28 and 70? Well, 7 can go into those two easily. And so 28 divided by 7 is 4. And 70 divided by 7 is 10. But that fraction is still not in its lowest terms. I know I can divide them by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And here's our fraction of girls, 2 over 5. But if you look above, we always knew this because the fraction of girls was always 2 over 5. And if you want to see more videos just like this one to work out past paper questions, make sure to like, subscribe, and share to Bahamian Mathematics.